Let's cuddle up. Say hello. Well, hey there, welcome in. I'm really glad you're here. Today I'm trying a whole boatload of new makeup. I'm so excited about it and I can't wait to share it all with you. If you're new here, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, make sure to give it a thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. Well, when I say I'm trying a bunch of new makeup today, I wasn't kidding. I have the Colourpop Stone Cold Fox palette, a Super Shock cheek blush from Colourpop, the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish concealer and setting powder, the Revlon Skin Light highlighter, the L'Oreal Infallible foundation. We're going to try this color and see how it works out. And I'm going to top it off with a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. Plus, I have some new earrings. Aren't those pretty? As always, all products that I use and mention today will be listed and linked below, and they'll also be over on the blog, so super easy for you to find. And with that, let's get into the makeup. I'm going to put a little extra hydration underneath my eyes because the concealer I'm going to use today really needs it. So I'm just going to dot a little bit of this on. My skincare is all done, and of course my sunscreen. For face primer, I'm going to be using this Thrive Filter Effects. I've fallen in love with this primer. It's just so very good. The cool thing is that I really look forward to using it. You know those makeup products that you just really like and you get excited? This is one of those. Just watch what it does to my skin. It really does blur out the imperfections in my pores. It's amazing. For eyeshadow primer, it's the tried and true Milani. You guys have seen this a million times. Just a little bit on my finger, and that goes between both lids. I have to warn you, I'm feeling chatty today, so I suspect this is going to be a long one. One thing I want to talk about before I get all started is my mirror. I've had so many of you ask me about my mirror, and I'll have to tell you, it's not that great. It's from Conair, and the mirror itself is good. You can see it right here. It's two-sided. This is the magnification side, and then you flip it over and it's the regular size. And look, it's crap. Someone who shall remain nameless knocked it off my table, and I just haven't replaced it. Here's what I like and don't like about this mirror. First of all, it's very nicely made. It sits well, it flips well, the mirror works really well. The light just is not very bright in it. If I didn't have these studio lights, I would not have enough light to do my makeup. And I have replaced the bulbs a couple of times in this mirror. I've had it, gosh, a few years now. So I like it. I just wish that the lights were brighter. You can get it off of Amazon. I'll put the link down below if you're interested, but I would only suggest it if you had an environment that had more light than this mirror gives off. I'm going to use the Maybelline brow extensions for my brows. I'm really loving this for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's super handy. It's a twist up. It fills my brows in really, really quickly, and it seems to make them a little bit fluffier and fuller. The whole shtick with this is that apparently there's fibers in the formula that fill in your brows quickly. I have the color Blonde in this pencil. The only thing this pencil doesn't have is a spoolie. I do the detail work with my Shady Slim brow pencil from LA Girl, and I use the spoolie on that. But just keep in mind, this does not have a spoolie on its own. So I use the Shady Slim just to go in and define the base of my brow and then on towards the tail. For eyeshadow, we're going to be using the Stone Cold Fox palette from Colourpop. I've been looking at this for a while, and of course, this is a very cool tone palette. This just came in yesterday. I haven't even opened it up, so we'll do that together. I was excited to see this because I've been using the Natasha Denona Glam palette since I got it, and I can't seem to step away with it. I just love this palette so much. This colorway is going to be very similar, I suspect, and we'll kind of look at the two of these and compare them. So you can see the size difference right here. The Stone Cold Fox palette has 30 colors, and Natasha Denona has 15. Oh, wow. Oh, this is so pretty. All right. So here's the palette right here. You guys have probably already seen this. It's been out for a while. I was looking at it and thinking back and forth, and I decided I just wanted to get it because I'm wondering if I'm going to love it as much as the Natasha Denona palette. There are more colors in here, which is a big plus for me. And as you can see, they're laid out kind of in color groups. We have the warm, more rosier tones here. We have neutral browns, very taupey browns, then a nice gray color palette right here, another taupey look, and then a little bit more of a mauve on the end. So here they are side by side. I believe this retails for about $30. I can't remember. I know that I got it on sale. It was about 25% off. The Natasha Denona, I believe, is $65. So smaller pan sizes, but more colors. And you can see that the variety in this palette is a lot bigger than in the Natasha Denona palette. Here's the thing with this glam palette. Since I purchased it, I haven't really wanted to use anything else. Unless I was just going out for a really casual day and I just wanted a little bit of shadow on my eyes to cover up the discoloration on my eyelids. When I would do a full shadow look, however, this is the palette that I would want to use. I'm really curious to see how this works out today, so I'm excited to jump in. I'm going to take the BK Beauty 201 brush and dip it into this color Luxe. That's going to go over both eyelids from top to bottom just to lay down a base. Okay, nice and pigmented. I like that in a base color. I'll have to tell you, I'm one of those people that's really glad to see more cool tone palettes coming in. I do like warm tones a little bit, but if I had to choose between one or the other, I would definitely choose cool tones. Now I'm going to take the BK Beauty 202 brush and I'm going to dip it into this color You Rock. It's almost a concrete stone color, very, very cool taupey. And that's going to go in the transition area right above the crease. And I just want to put that in really lightly. Again, nice and pigmented. Beautiful transition shade. I'm going to bring that into the outside third of my movable lid, just really lightly. Now I'm just going to blend those colors in just so they're really smooth and seamless. I can tell you already looking at this palette, I'm so excited to put together looks. There's so many different cool tone options and that's really exciting to me. Now I'm going to take a flat brush, this is from Sigma, and dip it into this color right here. It's called Bold Type. It's a very taupey brown. And that's going to go deeper into the crease and then onto that outside third of my movable lid. I just want to deepen up that area and give more emphasis to the outside of my eye. And I like to turn it up to kind of head up towards that eyebrow to give my eyes a little bit more lift. Again, really pigmented. They're just going on so beautifully. I like to see that. Again, deep into the crease, and then I bring it up just a little bit towards that outside area, up towards my eyebrow to give a little bit of lift. Then back in with that BK Beauty 201 brush. And just really smooth those edges out. Now I'm going to take a flat brush and go into this color Sediment to Be. Where do they come up with these names? That's going to be my next job. I either want to name eyeshadows or I want to name nail polishes. So I'm just going to pat that on the outside half of my movable lid. Gosh, that's a pretty color. Really loving that. A little bit past the halfway mark. And then blend those edges out. Now I'm going to take my finger and dip it into this really silver color. It's called Magnetic Moon. Look at that. Very, very lightly on the inside corner of each lid. Don't want to get too much. Little bit of sparkle fallout on this one. And then soften that into the other lid color. So far, I'm really loving this eyeshadow look. Here's another thing that I'm so excited about with this palette. There are so many colors in here that could be a beautiful one and done or two and done look. Just delicious shimmers, beautiful mattes. I'm really, really happy I picked this up. You know, I sat on the fence for a long time. Then I just thought, I'm just going to get it. I'm really glad I did. Before I hop into complexion, I'm going to do a little bit of color correcting. I'll have to tell you, I picked up the Dr. pen, the new M8 pen that they have. It's a micro needling pen. Just used it a few days ago. I might have been a little heavy-handed, so I've got some discoloration on my face. Don't do what I did. Go gently at first. So a little bit of peach underneath my eyes. This is the Stila Correct and Perfect palette. I like it so much because it has every color that I would need to correct. It just is super handy. I've used the heck out of this thing since I got it. I think I've had it about 3 months now, and I pretty much use it every single day. My cheeks are a little red, so I'm going to put some of this green over it in a really light application. For foundation, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I used this foundation, gosh, maybe a little over a year ago, and ended up not keeping it because I think it expired, and I decided to pick it up. This is such a popular foundation and so many people really love it. It's at the top of their list for foundations. Of course, it's a drugstore price, which is great. I picked it up in the color 420. Has a nice little pump. I'm going to start with this much on the back of my hand. Color match looks pretty good. It feels very serum-y, which I like. I don't really like heavy foundations anymore. I've gotten so used to the lighter serum-y foundations that just feel so good on the skin. This is the BK Beauty 101 brush. I really like this brush for foundation. It has this nice angle on it, and I just sort of press that foundation in. This is looking pretty matte on the skin. I almost wish that I would have put a more illuminating primer underneath this because it's looking a little flatter than I've been wearing lately. Now I'm going to take my Sigma sponge and I'm just going to press that foundation in. There's just something about the finish that a sponge gives to a foundation that I think is so pretty. It is so beautiful here today. It is sunny and the sky is blue and there's snow on the mountains. It's just gorgeous today. We have snow in the area and we really haven't had much snow this year, so it's really kind of fun. Okay, so here's the finish of the foundation. From the way it looks today, I can say it's not one of my favorite finishes. It looks dry, but that's going to be exacerbated because I did that micro needling a few nights ago, which makes my skin a little bit dry for a few days. If I'd used a more illuminating primer, I think I would like it better. And if my skin wasn't a little bit drier than it usually is, I'd probably like the way that it looks better. It is beautifully smoothing and has gorgeous coverage. So I'm really liking that part. I think I'll just use a different primer next time. And of course, my skin won't be as dry next time either. So I'm going to keep working with this and I'll keep you posted. For concealer today, I'm going to be using a product that more of you suggested I pick up than any other concealer. This is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Concealer, and it comes with a little powder. You can either buy the concealer or the concealer and the powder or the concealer and powder and brush. I ended up getting just these two because I pretty much like the brush that I use for my concealer. I've used this a few times. One of the things that I can say is I wish I would have gotten a little lighter color. I like a little bit of brightness underneath my eyes. This seems to be very similar to my skin tone, so I don't get a lot of brightening. The reason I put the extra hydration underneath my eyes today is because this is not as moisturizing or hydrating as some of the other concealers that I use. I find if I put down extra moisture before I put on my primer, it sits down better. So it comes in this little tube. It has the standard doe foot applicator, and I have found that just the tiniest amount is all I need. The first couple of times I used it, I used way too much and it looked cakey and heavy. It didn't work out at all. So I'm just going to take my Real Techniques brush and start pressing that in and smoothing it out. This does have really good coverage, and when I set it down, it does stay throughout the day and creases very little. Now, any concealer is going to crease under my eyes because I have very wrinkly under eyes. It's not like a 30-year-old's who is just smooth under there. There's different criteria for a good concealer for me. You can see the coverage on that concealer now. I'll have to say it's looking again a little bit drier than it usually does because my skin is drier. Here is the powder that goes with the concealer. I'm going to use a big fluffy brush. This one is from Sigma. Tap off and just press that very lightly. I have found that if I use too much of this, it just looks really cakey. Now I'm going to take that Sigma sponge again and spray just a little bit of setting spray on the tip and just press that underneath my eyes. One thing that I have found, I've worn this a few times, I think this is probably the fourth time, is once I powder it and once I set it down with the setting spray, it really doesn't move. However, that being said, that doesn't mean it's not going to show up in my lines and wrinkles, because I do have lines and wrinkles underneath my eyes. It just looks a little bit smoother than a lot of concealers I've used. To contour my face, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. I love this product. I've tried a few products from Charlotte Tilbury in the last few months. Some of them I don't think are worth the premium price. Some of them I absolutely do, and this is one of them. I love this. It does something on my skin that nothing else has. So it comes in a little squeezy tube right here, and I'm just going to tap a little bit on my face. I find that doing one area at a time really does work best for me. So I just take my stippling brush and press that into the skin. Isn't that just so pretty? So is anybody getting sick of winter yet? I don't know if I am. I think probably because we haven't had very much snow. I could use a little more snowshoeing and a little bit more just beautiful views with snow on the mountain. It's really one of my favorite things throughout the year. And then I always contour up along my forehead. And I really only do one side because the other side is covered by my hair. So it saves some product and some makeup application time. I just love this product. Truly, it's another one of those that I really look forward to using. And then under the chin. For cheeks, I have a new product. This one is from Colourpop as well. This just came in yesterday with the rest of the order. This is a Super Shock cheek color. I've never used one of these. I have no idea. Haven't even opened it up yet. This is in the color Count Me In. So this is what it looks like right here. Oh, okay. It's kind of bouncy. It feels really good. It almost feels like a cream to powder formula or something like that. It feels soft and bouncy. So I'm just gonna tap that in. Let me show you what it looks like on the back of my hand. It's such a pretty color. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? All right, you guys, I think I'm loving this. So pretty. What do you think? Ooh. I've been really hooked on the Honest Beauty Cream Blush. This is really giving it a run for its money. This is such a pretty color. And I love the way it feels on the skin. So gorgeous, loving this. This again is Count Me In, Super Shock Blush from Colourpop. I'm going to take my sponge and just press that in. I have a new highlight today too. This is from Revlon. It is their Skin Lights. Isn't that just the prettiest color? This is 201 Daybreak Glimmer. Haven't used this, just opened it. Took me forever. I'll tell you, sometimes drugstore packaging is just smarter than I am. Here it is right here, and I'll put it next to that blush. Oh gosh, this is so pretty. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Kind of a real white gold. I'm going to get just a little bit on my brush. This looks like it could be pretty powerful. And right over the tops of my cheeks. What do you think? Is it all glowy? So pretty. Just love that. This is another good highlighter. Gosh, there's so many great highlighters out there. And I like that this is a drugstore price as well. So I'm just smoothing that in. To finish off the complexion, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Loose Powder. This is very similar to the Milani Prep Set and Glow, which you guys know I absolutely love. I'm kind of still testing this out to see if I love it just as much. So far, I do, but I don't have my final thoughts yet. So I'm going to get a little bit on a big fluffy brush, tap that off, and just brush that over the face. Now I'm just going to line the upper lid very, very lightly with the L'Oreal Lay Liner, just along the lash line. Then I take a little angled brush and I just smudge that line out. So I don't have to worry about it being perfect on my less than smooth lids. I've curled my lashes in tight lined again with the Lay Liner pencil. I really love this pencil, not only for lining the upper lid, but for the waterline, because it really doesn't transfer underneath. You know how when you'll tight line and then you kind of have to clean up that underneath area? I don't have to do that with this. It really stays put. So I'm loving this liner. It's cool too because it's one of those twist ups, so it's really easy to work with. I'm going to be using the Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara today. I started using this again because it's the only mascara that I have in my collection right now that absolutely doesn't smudge no matter what. I mean, it really doesn't. It's one of those tubing mascaras where it actually just coats a tube of product around your lash, and it's kind of a rubberized formula, for lack of a better term, so it doesn't smudge underneath my eyes when my lower eye area hits my upper lashes, because I smile a lot and that's very crinkly skin. So when it comes in contact with my upper lashes, if that mascara smudges, it will get underneath my lashes. This doesn't do that. Here's the reason I want to use it today, is that I've noticed that my lashes get so long when I use this particular formula. And I actually put a post on Instagram about a week ago. I'll go ahead and link that down below. And so many of you commented, oh my gosh, what do you have on your lashes? They're so long. And it was this. So watch what happens when I use this mascara. So my lashes now, and I'm going to start putting this on. You're going to be amazed at how much longer they look. So look at the length on those lashes. Isn't that extraordinary? So Liquid Lash Extensions for the name is a pretty good one. So here's the mascara on both eyes. For lips today, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Age Perfect Lip Liner. This is in nude pink, and I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. This is an iconic lipstick. We've all seen this for a long time. I just thought it would be pretty with today's look. Here we have the lip liner and the lipstick. These lip liners are so creamy. They feel so good to put on. So here's the lip combination. Here we have the finished look. Gosh, I had so much fun with this makeup look today. So many of these products I'm just in love with. At the top of the list is this Stone Cold Fox palette from Colourpop. Absolutely loving this palette. The neutral colorway combined with all the different options in this palette, every shade that I used today was so good. I really, really loved the eye look today, and I'm so thrilled that there are so many different color combinations in this palette, and most of them lean cool, and I'm so thrilled about that. So many one and done and two and done options in this palette. I'll have to say, between the Natasha Denona Glam palette and this palette, if you're trying to decide between the two, I don't think you can go wrong with this one, and I think it's about half the price. So really loving this. You'll be seeing a lot more of this palette in the weeks and months to come. Can't wait to create a lot more looks with it. So really, really thrilled with the Stone Cold Fox palette from Colourpop. Another super big hit for me today is this Super Shock Cheek Blush. It is so good. Again, this is in the color Count Me In. There's something about this formula. It's so bouncy and it's kind of a cream to powder, and I think it just put the most beautiful color on the cheek. As of this very moment, this is my favorite cheek color in my collection. The Skin Lights highlighter from Revlon, another favorite of mine. I love the look on the face. Drugstore pricing, beautiful highlighter. Again, this is in color 201 Daybreak Glimmer, and you can see just how pretty it is. The Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Concealer and Setting Powder. I can see why so many of you love this formula. It really is a beautiful combination. I can't say that this is the perfect color for me. I wish I'd gotten a little bit lighter one. I think I might order a lighter color and give that a whirl. So this is definitely a great concealer and setting powder. And what could I say? This Thrive Liquid Lash Extension Mascara. Oh boy, if you want long lashes, this is the ticket. It's wonderful for me because it absolutely doesn't smudge. It's not difficult to take off at night. It just sort of pulls off with warm water. So definitely love having this mascara in my collection. Gosh, I had a lot of fun today. I hope you did too. If you found this useful and helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the Over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. I get so thrilled when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the Over 50 woman. Make it a great day. Wear your sunscreen and all. See you in the next video. Bye now.